Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are having a wonderful day today, and hope you all will have great sessions that will be coming forward. Uh, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just here to update you all on the new technologies that has been coming on. I think a colleague before Ian has discussed the new technology that was from Japan. I'm here to discuss about vacuum glass technology. What you call is vacuum insulated glass that was introduced in this soil in Australia in 1981. The first glass ever made in 1981 was in University of Sydney under the leadership of Professor Richard Collins, and then the technology was moved forward with other various leaders in the market, and currently we are a exclusive distributor of vacuum insulated glass in Australia. Let me take you the history of vacuum glass. Well, whenever I did my master's or in my PhD research, we always used to go back into history. And I take you to the history of vacuum glass. Started way back in 1930 when the research was conducted. And you can see the glass that started a research in 1930 and then went back to 1995, and then 1981 the University of Sydney started inventing, and the first production, as I've said, was in 1981 by one undergraduate student of Professor Richard Collins. Now this VIG technology has two panes of glass, and our glass are toughened and laminated as well. We can have toughened laminated, we can have toughened, our glass can be toughened as well with lamination. We also have our VIG with IGU units as well, what we call is hybrid. Now, this glass has two panes. As I've said, the glass is toughened both sides, and within the two panes we have a gap. We have a vacuum gap. That's why it's called VIG, vacuum insulated glass. That gap of 0.3 millimeters, and that gap is being created by the pillars that is inside that vacuum. You can see from the front view the internal pillars. In this glass that I'm holding this morning has a pillar gap of 0.3 and intervals of 55 millimeters. Well, there may be various VIG glass around, and different VIGs have different intervals and different size of the pillars and the different gaps as well, like 0.3, 0.1, 0.2, and so forth. In 1981, when the first commencement of VIG glass was done, the first glass was produced in University of Sydney in Australia. This technology, we are saying, when I walked in this forum yesterday and this morning when I was going around, and I'm Sunil, I'm from BM Sydney, representing, we'll be discussing on vacuum glass. What is it? But ladies and gentlemen, this glass was first introduced in Australia itself, first produced in Australia. Since 1981, the glass moved on in different countries. Different technologies have been brought in, and several VIG units were produced. There are millions of VIG being produced and millions have been installed. We just have started in Australia, but in other countries like UK, Germany, France, Netherlands, they do VIG technology in a bigger way than what we are doing currently. But we are trying our level best to ensure that we move forward with VIG technology in Australia as well. Apart from the technical part which I have discussed, the U value for this glass is 0.4, and which is makes this VIG technology an extraordinary which clearly shows that the U value of 0.4 is much, maybe 2 or 3 times better performing than what triple glaze can do. In Australia, we are looking into double glazing a lot in the market. We are looking at triple glazing, yes, but how about the U values? Our U value of VIG is 0.4, much higher than what triple glaze can get in at the market. And the best part is, with this glass having a size of 8.3 millimeters and having a U value of 0.4. And also, the glass does not stop there. Apart from its thermal conductivity, it also have a very good acoustic performance as well. Having the 8.3 having acoustic decibels of 36 and the 10.3 and our 12.3 units 39. And not even stopping there, we also have VIG with IGU unit. Reason being is because VIG works very well with low frequencies. Sorry, high frequencies. And IGU works low frequencies. So if they are both combined, then we get a better acoustic feature of more than 41 decibels. According to research, and according to what we all know, that 30 to 40% of the windows and glass in any house uses 30 to 40% of the openings in a house has glass and windows. We intend to use a lot of heaters, air conditioners, to ensure that our house is to the temperature that we all can live in. But we are forgetting that if we don't have a very good window that has a better performing glass, then definitely we will not be able to achieve what we want to. And that's where our VIG solution is all about. Owing to the poor thermal insulating properties of conventional glazing, most of the energy are being lost through that. And to improve the thermal performance of glazing in building, researchers like me, sometimes I do a lot, we ensure, or the researchers ensure that what is the best performing technology that can be placed in. Well, there was a time when glass was only 2 mils, 3 mils came up, then 4 mils came up, then we started with laminating, then double glazing came up. There were some reasons behind it. Researchers, they did a lot of work to ensure that all this glass can come into the market so that we get the best performing window system that we can have in place in a building. So if you look at the best performing or a double glazing unit without any gas in it, we'll have a U value of 2.7. If you put an inert gas, we'll have a U value of 1.8. But our glass, as I've said, the VIG, the vacuum insulated glass, without putting in any extras, just having a gap of 0.3 mm with the pillars that we have, giving a performance of 0.4. Currently this glass is inverse and is able to perform with the U values of 0.7 for the whole window system, 0.6 with the whole window system, and so forth. VIG innovation and history for one of our suppliers started way back in 2008, 9. Things have changed. Now, when the first glass was made, the first glass that was made in University of Sydney, we had this suction cup here, a suction bulb, what we say. The reason was for it to suck out the air and create the vacuum in between the two panes which has a gap of 0.3. But now we don't have those suction valves at all. The reason being is this glass is now being prepared is manufactured inside a vacuum chamber itself, so that we don't have any issues with regards to customers or our clients saying, oh, I don't like to see those holes in the glass. For those who must have seen our old generation of the glass, the old generation of VIG glass, you may have seen there were one suction valves over here and another gutter of hole over here, which was not looking very aesthetically fine with our customers. But our innovation team, our supplier from Landvac, the place where we get our glass from, have worked tirelessly and ensured that we work with the technology and get the best glass, the best VIG glass in the market. As I've said, since we are working towards in ensuring that we get the best glass, best performing glass in the market, currently we have this 8.3, and now we are very soon will be able to get in 6.3 mm into the glass market, so that we are working quite well with the glass restoration market, where the wire distributors are working tirelessly in regards to retrofit the glass, and their view is 6.3 will be a better match, a better fix for the glass. So now, with the help of our supplier, with our team, the VIG glass is also coming into a 6.3 millimeters into the market. Now, I'd like to call James Lee to discuss further on the vacuum glass, the U values and applications where this glass can be used, and the reason behind in getting this glass, the VIG glass, into the market. James Lee.
Thank you, Sunil. Thank you. I would like to start off with my presentation asking a few questions. The questions are, what is vacuum glass? Why is another great Australian invention being manufactured overseas? And where do we expect vacuum glass to go in Australia and around the world? So, just to explain and reiterate what Sunil was saying, vacuum glass is two panes of glass soldered together with a titanium alloy, creating a 0.3 vacuum chamber. The glass is fully tempered, also low E coating, and free of condensation. We call it a generational glass because we expect and have proven the life expectancy or the service life of the vacuum to last more than 25 years. So we call it a generational glass. So as you can see in the diagram here, we've got two panes of glass. As Sunil has said, the pillars in between actually acts as a supporting unit to stop the two glass from concaving in during the suction process. The titanium alloy is soldered around the edges, and then we also have a getter. The getter is on the bottom of the glass, which acts as similar to the silica beads in our shoe boxes. Any minor moisture that is still left in there, or we call it lazy air. So, what is the current glazing option? As you guys are industry experts, and I'm sure very well experienced, you all know laminating glass. Has a thickness of 6 to 12 millimeters with a UG value of 5.7 to 3.6. Double glaze, 20 mil to 28 mil, has a UG value of 2.8 and thereabouts. We have also triple glaze, which is 28 to 44 millimeters, which has a UG value of 0.8, which is currently the method of making a system with the highest U value and good decibels as well. However, ladies and gentlemen, our vacuum glass, which has been commercialized for more than 10 years now, is 6 to 12 mil thick and has a U value of 0.4. screen is just probably not showing everything there, but we've got a 0.4. Okay, so these are the typical systems. Our most standard vacuum glass range is our 8.3, which is like explained, but on here we've used the 5mm glass, toughened low E with a 0.3 vacuum gap. On the other side is also 5mm toughened. It has a U value of 0.45, VLT of 70, and a SHGC of 39. As Sunil has also said, besides our standard VIG range, we have VIG laminated and VIG hybrid, which is our VIG IGU. The VIG IGU typically was created for mainly the UPVC markets where UPVC frames will have larger pockets. Also, noise reductions, different configurations, different systems, we can increase the acoustic performance. Just to reiterate on the standard range, so we have VAC 8, which is an 8.3, which has two 4mm panes on either side with a 0.3 vacuum gap, LandVac 10, 12, and LandVac 11 acoustic. Now, why we call it LandVac 11 acoustic is because we use two different size glass on either side. So we would use a 5mm and a 6mm pane with a 0.3 vacuum gap, giving that higher sound reduction. Some other thermal performance, 2 to 4 times better than double glaze and 6 to 10 times better than single glaze. Another interesting fact about vacuum glass, typically all our windows and doors are created and used as on a vertical plane. However, as you guys all know, skylights are typically on a horizontal plane with double glaze, laminated and triple glaze. The performance of the U value actually changes due to typically the heat rises. However, for vacuum glass, the U value remains quite consistent. Different applications, we are selling our products around the world. The largest segment we're selling our products is heritage retrofit. The main reason is timber frames not able to chase out or rebate a larger pocket for double glaze. So with 8.3, we still have some challenges, but we're overcoming that challenges this year with 6.3. 8.3 is substituting or is the next best fit to have better than triple glaze performance, but still being able to be installed in a timber frame. Skylights, wine room and cool rooms, fridge and freezers because of the free of condensation. Laboratories, high altitude areas are also another interesting one. I've learned throughout getting involved with this, with the altitude and pressures when fabricating double glaze. Obviously, if it's going to be used in an alpine area or high pressure area, it would need to be pressurized. However, for VIG, it's not required because there's no air, nor is there gas inside. Acoustic purposes and passive house. The following calculation we've done here was on a typical 2-story house in the alpine area where the aircon or the heater has been turned on 24 hours. It's a comparison done between single, double, and our VIG. And due to the thermal performance, there would be significant savings. Obviously, depending on the consumer, the end users, this saving will be taken differently. So these are some of the projects that we have done in Australia and around the world. And very happy to say it's getting very busy, it's getting more awareness, and we've met a lot of people in the industry. They've taken us and given us the right direction and advice. And happy to say that we're in every state and territory in Australia. But yeah, we still have a long way to go to better the country's energy savings and the building envelopes. So I wanted to address also one of the questions I asked, why is it manufactured overseas? Why are there only 4 countries in the world that produce vacuum glass? I think it comes down to the experience of the production line, the vacuuming process. Our manufacturers, Landvac, is a subsidiary of Landglass, and you guys might have heard of Landglass being one of the leaders in furnace manufacturing. So from that experience, they were able to challenge the status quo of manufacturing vacuum glass. So these are just some of the projects that's been installed throughout Australia and around the world. Thank you. Just like to ask any questions.
Honestly, I love questions.
I'd just like to ask, for human impact, what equivalent would you do 8 mil glass? Is that equivalent to 8 mil toughen, or is it equivalent to 8 through 8 lab? In how many square metres you can use for human impact?
In regards to, and I hope I don't butcher the answer, but we'll answer the best of our ability. For our results for impact, we have our pressure ratings that it achieves. In regards to testing compliance, we have tested our glass to
Yes.
yeah,
208.
208. But in the Australian standard, it doesn't have a category for VIG yet. So that's one of the milestones we want to change.
So currently we have tested our glass in Zuma lab in Sydney using AS208 with single panes of 4 mil, 5 mil and 6 mil. Also with the whole unit as well, 8.3, 10.3 and 12.3. And the best thing is Mr. Adam was also there part of us in, witnessing the testing, and we went through the test, and the test was quite positive in terms of the impact that we have just discussed about. And yeah, so we have got the results. Yeah. So our glass beats the standard at the moment for impact human test.
My apologies, I was a little late into the room. Can you manufacture the units using toughened glass?
Yes, all glass manufactured is all toughened.
Okay, thank you.
It's toughened glass. The best thing about our glass is the low E coating is inside the pin. It's not outside. It's like some glasses, they have their own coating outside to achieve various properties or thermal properties. So our glass will not have any impact or any issues if you have to clean it up with any of the agents.
How does it compare per square metre cost-wise compared to double glazing and triple glazing?
You can have a business card of mine, and then I can discuss personally with you.
Ballpark?
At the moment, it's just like the U value of the glass, let's say double glazing is 2.6 and ours is 0.4, so obviously pricing will be there.
There's some advertisement, $700, $500. It just depends on the volume. I think the big makeup of it is how much glass gets put into a container to subsidize the the ocean freight and whatnot. But it's still, more expensive than double glaze, but cheaper than triple glaze.
So lead times 8 to 10 weeks. Even it can go to 12 max, but every glass will be custom size, so it will have different sizes. It will be all manufactured, and then it takes three weeks for it to be shipped out from China and all those things. So yeah, normally it's from 8 to 12 weeks will be a better time.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.